Greetings, everybody. It's Gleekon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. On our last episode, we read the second volume of the Sunwell trilogy, and it was neat. We basically saw a Tauren allied with the Forsaken, how that relationship could look, and they kind of slowed down the journey of Kalek and his allies. We're still trying to get pieces of the Sunwell, and at the very end, Darkhan abducted Anvina and flew off. On our sidebar, we just read Chapter 3 in the World of Warcraft role-playing game source material, which just told us the base classes, and now we're going to continue with Chapter 4. If you want to stay a while and listen, we'll talk about the prestige classes. Okay, so let's begin with the Archmage of Kirin Tor prestige class. The Mage's Order of the Kirin Tor has waned since it was nearly destroyed in battle against Arthas and Kel'Thuzad, yet some of the Archmages survived, scarred and worn for their efforts to stop the march of evil and destruction of the Violet Citadel. The few who lived swore an oath of vengeance. The Archmages of Kirin Tor bear a deep hatred for the arts of necromancy and the servants of dark powers. Now they hide within the domed ruins of Dalaran. Some say they plan to rid the lands of Azeroth of the Forsaken, destroy the remnants of the Scourge and the Burning Legion, and rebuild the Violet Citadel, restoring Dalaran to its former glory. Their master of the arcane makes them potent and fearsome in aspect and power. Having learned much from their defeat, the Archmages have become even more dangerous to the forces they oppose. So they're obviously Arcanists, who then have focused on the mage skill. And this is kind of some of the things that shows. Basically, they have high arcana with an arcane reach, arcane fire. They keep progressing as as the spellcasting class. They gain mastery of counterspelling, energies, shaping, some extra spell powers, spell-like abilities, and yeah, that's about it. So basically, if you just are leaning heavily into being a mage, the assassin, ooh, my favorite spec in all of World of Warcraft. Obviously, this is prestige rogue. Even more skilled in the art of death, assassins are those few who have gone on to perfect the arts of murder to an incredibly fine degree. So deadly are the cold-hearted killers that they are beyond the ideas of allegiance and devotion to anything more than the next challenging kill. I don't think of my assassin that way. He's a nice assassin. They have to be evil. I don't consider my guy evil. It's more of a skill set. Yes, he's really good at backstabbing with a specific death attack, poison use, yes. They're opiate poison, and they're good at saving poison and dodging, hiding in plain sight, basically vanishing. Cool, and they gain some assassin spells: darkness, bloodlust, alter self, some basically subterfuge type spells, which makes sense for D&D. D&D always leans into that for the assassin spec. I don't like playing assassins in Dungeons and Dragons as much, but I love them in. I don't know why they're not the best spec, but I just always have liked it. Beastmaster. This is a type of hunter, prestige hunter. The Beastmaster is a wilderness warrior who has developed an uncanny rapport with animals. Though truly fearsome in battle, the Beastmaster can be quite gentle when dealing with creatures of the wild. A Beastmaster typically travels with one or more animal companions who show incredible loyalty to their humanoid friend. Though a Beastmaster prefers to spend time in the wild with his animal companions, he is not averse to venturing into civilized lands when the need arises. As long as animals may be found where he travels, the Beastmaster will feel at home. Night elves or horde, for whatever reason, that changes. They have a D12 hit die, which is a pretty strong hit die. What do they have? They have the animal companion, wild empathy, charm animal, and empathic link, natural weaponry, some claws, basically. Speak with animals, magic, fang. Yeah, so they just basically get a stronger link to their animals. They don't get the two extra beasts like whatchamacallits have, like real Beastmasters have. Okay, the Berserker class. This would probably be a barbarian prestige, and this is just like I don't know, a spec of warrior. Rage rests within the heart of the Orc control races like some barely contained beast ready to tear its way out. For many, this rage allows them to face even the most dangerous of foes and survive. Their innate ability to hold on to this energy and ride it through the waves of battle has made the Horde a feared and respected force, yet some orcs and trolls descend even deeper in this rage, harnessing it as often as they can, fighting on without care for themselves, and showing no mercy to those in their paths. These are the Berserkers, and they can only be orcs or trolls. So they just gain extra rages. I don't even know what kind you would call this. Maybe a Fury Warrior kind of makes sense. Ferocity and Berserk. I'm thinking Ogre's Grip. Yeah, so they can dual wield the double two-handed weapons. So this is basically a Fury Warrior. Burst of Speed, Fury. And they gain Surge, Superior Rages, and Undying Rages. The Duelist looks like a rogue. But it could be any. Let's see. A puissant skill with a weapon, a keen intellect, and a wicked wit all comprise the essentials of the Duelist. Rare among the Horde, but often encountered swaggering along the promenades of human and goblin coastal cities, the Duelist is a skilled sword fighter capable of amazing feats in battle, relying on an almost supernatural skill with their weapons. The Duelist is a welcome asset to any group. It requires perform and tumble, which makes this more of an agility-based type. Canny defense, improved reaction, enhanced mobility, grace, precise strike. This is maybe the beginning of an outlaw, because I don't think outlaw was... They have acrobatic charge, parry, deflect arrows. This lacks the ranged factor, but it's definitely not... It's not a warrior. I would say this is a rogue, a more melee, less stealthy-based rogue. Where's the class requirements? It doesn't... Yeah, I guess warriors can lean into this as well in the Dungeons and Dragons sense, but I see that more as a precursor to like a outlaw rogue, but they need the guns, of course. Elven Rangers. This is my marksman hunter. The Elven Ranger is an elite wilderness warrior whose skills are unique to the Elven race. Sorry. These skills are rooted in ancient tradition from even before the time of Queen Ajara and survive in the cultures of both the High Elves and the Night Elves. Among modern High Elves, the Elven Ranger is known as just that, but among the Night Elves, the Elven Rangers are called by their ancient title, Sentinels. The Elven Rangers of both races are elite archers and wilderness skirmishers capable of running through rugged terrain to make impossible shots that appear fluid and natural. Love it. This is Alliance only, which is a shame. They do gain some spells. They have an extended range, so yeah, this is our marksman hunter for sure. They gain favored enemy archer combat style, extra perception, keen arrows, swift tracker, a bow strike if you want to punch with the bow. They do gain some spells. Arrow cleave, that's a common one actually now. Skill 2, anticipation. They can pick a favorite race. Yeah, they just gain like self buffs, a little bit of healing. So this is a straight up marksman hunter. Whoa, this is cool. This is a brand new one. The Fellsworn. The servants of the Burning Legion are a myriad of darkly motivated men and women, servants of some demonic will. Most of those who have become slaves to the Burning Legion have done so by following mystical paths that are not only perilous for one's body, but also for one's soul. Fellsworns are those who have begun to transform due to their exposure to the energies of the Burning Legion. Their bodies have warped and twisted to take on a new shape, and their souls become more and more evil. While they might start out resembling normal members of their race, their demonic features develop until they are terrifying beings, half humanoid and half demon. It's almost like a tiefling beginning. Anyone can do it. Oh, it says they have... This is a warlock spec. So maybe this is like a demonology warlock. They get fell corruption. We get a fell boon, fell breath, fell fangs, fell talon, fell wings. Oh, it's actually closer to a demon hunter. You wanted to take a warlock and then start morphing them into a demon hunter. That's what we have kind of here. That's kind of neat. The gladiator thralls, old jam. Just a warrior spec. Maybe you could call it an arms warrior. I don't know. A gladiator has devoted himself to the mastery of close combat. The single-minded devotion to weaponry and fighting styles makes him a feared enemy to those who cross him and a valued ally to those who manage to befriend him. Though gladiators practice with as many weapons as possible, each chooses a single weapon and strives to master it until it becomes an extension of his being and allows him to cut a bloody swath through his foes. I would say this is most likely like an arms warrior. They have cleave, dodge, power attack, supreme cleave, two-handed mastery. Yeah, this is an arms warrior with a weapon focus, and that is how the old specs used to be, where you would pick a specific type. Extra mobility, more whirlwind attack. That's a little bit of fury, but spring attack, maximize blow. All right, infiltrator. This is like a subtlety rogue, I guess. Infiltrators are a select group tasked with protecting the Alliance, whether from the attacks of SI7, of the Horde, or by those who would attempt to shatter it from within by manipulating internal rivalries. The Infiltrator is a manipulator, a charmer, and a spy who wears her weapons hidden beneath fine clothing as she dives into the dark waters of politics, diplomacy, and intrigue. Yeah, so this is more appropriate for the Dungeons & Dragons setting, where combat doesn't have to be the best, but I would still tie this most to a subtlety rogue. All disguises and stuff like that, or role-playing type of moves. Some vanish, dominate, slippery mind. Yeah, I still like it. Mounted warrior. We had this one in the other campaign. Same picture even. Doesn't really make sense because you can't be a mounted warrior in World of Warcraft. So this doesn't translate. Mounted warriors are formidable melee combatants on their own, yet they are only half complete. When they climb atop beasts and ride them onto the battlefield, mounted warriors become truly fearsome foes, mounted and rider working together in deadly concert. Among humans and high elves, mounted warriors are known as knights, while for the night elves, a mounted warrior is called a huntress. Among orcs, a mounted warrior is known as a raider. Okay, and they are what they sound like. They're awesome when on mount, great for Warcraft 3, ridiculously inappropriate for World of Warcraft, and they get the superior mount. Your mount can be skilled, which is cool. Oh, look at them. I like how the gnomish mounted warrior is riding his mechano, whatever the heck those are called, those striders, or that's cool. Shock charge. Okay, so awesome. Those are the prestige classes. I'm not going to push on to the next chapter, even though that wasn't that long, but we may end up combining some further chapters. We are only about a quarter of the way through this book, which is why I didn't want to even attempt to bust it all out in one. But I like it, and just seeing these pictures is making me eager to play. We are so close. Thank you, everyone, all my viewers, the fans, the subscribers, anyone that gives their minutes, their hours, their time to this channel and this show. I hope that you enjoy it. It's a great hobby for me, and I hope that it's a little bit of a pastime for you as well. This episode, in the pipe, 5x5.